Prior to the 1960s, the Nigerian economy depended largely on agriculture and agro-related products to fund government projects. But since the late 1970s, there have been a huge cry to diversify the economy, and emphasis in this direction have since been focused on the revamping of the agric sector. While many states in the Federation are still holding talks on roundtable conferences looking for a way out of the matter, the Senator Kowa-led administration have stepped out from the drawing board and have since taken advantage of the many agricultural potentials that abound in the oil-rich Delta state.
When we talk about Delta beyond oil, it's not just about the world beyond oil. What actions are we taking towards that? We are beginning to change the narrative and to encourage our people to ensure that they acquire the necessary skills and to be self-dependent. We're thinking about agriculture. We have programs for our farmers who are already there. We have partnerships with commercial farmers who have come in. A lot is being done. The Youth Agricultural Program is also doing very well. And a lot of people are acquiring skills and starting on their own.
And so, with hunger, no respecter of persons or status, and Delta State government not wanting any of the negativity afflicting its people, it formulated policies that gave life to agriculture, such as Youth Agriculture Entrepreneurship Program (YAGEP), Delta Agricultural and Rural Development Authority (DARDA), and others to attain food sufficiency for local consumption and for export.
The government has been foremost in trying to alleviate poverty and hunger. And the whole concept of Fadama is rural agriculture with the attendant expertise from the World Bank. We truly need the support beyond the financial contribution, the technical expertise. It has improved on the economies of those rural dwellers. It has also brought in some skills to what they used to know, and that has deepened the process of growth and prosperity.
Smart Delta.
Poverty and hunger can be very dehumanizing and can subject anyone to a life of servitude and subservience. The answer to this dehumanizing state of nature is the World Bank supported project Fadama, which targets poverty alleviation and the empowerment of the rural poor and dwellers. This is where Fadama comes in. It is against the backdrop of this high impact the Delta State government, under the watch of Senator Kowa, paid her counterpart funding, giving Delta State the right to bite a huge chunk of this apple pie, giving ordinary Deltans the opportunity to benefit. Come with me as Smart Delta takes you on a tour around some communities to see the impact of this project.
So off, Smart Delta left for OKORONKWO to visit the Fadama user group FUG in that community to see exactly how they were faring in their agriculture-related activities. We didn't know what to expect. Nevertheless, there was expectation in the air, as you have heard about greenhouse technology being adopted for farming in this community. The crops planted within the tents grow in regulated environment and temperature suitable for the plants to thrive. It also prevents pest infestation that could be inimical to growth and ultimately affect yield. With greenhouse technology and gem drip irrigation system in place, crops can be grown all year round. Each greenhouse has 400 stalks of pepper and tomato owned by 10 beneficiaries. So, within this limited space, 100 farmers are direct beneficiaries. The farmers chose high-yielding habanero pepper and hybrid tomato for the pilot program because there is already an available market to sell off their produce.
This pepper is unique, unlike the local pepper we have that they normally bring mostly from the north. You see, when you're cooking with this pepper, you can perceive the aroma over 100 meters away. That tells you that it's quite unique.
This pepper you can see here now is different from other peppers that we used to buy before in the market. The way we are selling it, it doesn't give us problem to sell. Let me just give thanks to our government that made it possible.
Okowa has been a man of the masses. And we are happy because every day we come to this place, there is improvement, there is growth, the seeds are doing fine.
Attached to the greenhouses is an in-house agronomist who trains the farmers on how to manage and tend to their plants. He explains some benefits arising from adopting greenhouse technology for agriculture.
Place your seed center. This one now, this 1,000 seed per one pack. Open field, you need a larger space to get that type of yield. Whereas we are using a limited space, that's 8 by 24. The population in this thing is 400 stand per greenhouse. We are expecting 8 kg per one plant for their cycle. So if you do the calculation now, the range is between 3 to 5 tons per greenhouse.
Delta State Fadama Project Coordinator Collins Asoro, while applauding Delta State government for paying her counterpart funding, backs the agronomist, insisting that greenhouse technology guarantees almost 100% success in production. He further explains that the project also intervenes in other areas other than hardcore agriculture, giving a lot of Deltans in rural communities the opportunity to be gainfully engaged.
The Delta State government have actually played a very vital role in the life of Deltans through the Fadama project. And the Delta State has been very religious in the payment of the counterpart fund. There are so many communities that have benefited. It has also increased the yield of many of the farmers. This is not the only one, they are scattered all over the state. And there are other areas where the Fadama project has intervened, across all enterprises in agriculture.
Agriculture has the capacity to absorb a lot of persons by providing employment opportunities. With benefits of this knowledge, Delta State Governor Senator Ifeanyi Okowa promised to do things differently by promptly paying the state's counterpart funding. This prompt payment was his way to motivate Fadama beneficiaries to make full use of the comparative advantage and opportunities the agric sector provides. Not only as a poverty alleviation platform, but equally takes full advantage of its value chain to create jobs, increase income and productivity of farmers, even as its administration targets zero tolerance for hunger, while also generally improve the state's human capital development.
Effort of our governor, who has paid the counterpart fund for Fadama, that these projects have moved to another level. Not just helping the communities, empowering the beneficiaries, but also in the higher goal, helping in achieving the sustainable development goal.
I really appreciate the participation of state government because the Fadama 2, we tried our best. But because of the counterpart funding, we could not. But glory be to God, to our governor, Dr. Ifeanyi Okowa, who later came in and made sure that the capital funding from the area of the state government was properly secured for us. We were so happy in respect of this project.
The importance of using greenhouse technology by Fadama for agri purposes is not lost on Deltans, as Ukala people turned out in their numbers during the commissioning of their tents. Commissioner for Agriculture and Natural Resources Julius Egbedi lauded the state government for having the interest of the people at heart by committing huge resources to this project.
The use of the greenhouses and approach to agricultural production, which will expose the beneficiaries and the generality of our people to global best practices, which can be bought into by other farmers and will be farmers in the state. It is also expected to boost increased productivity, improve livelihoods, and increase the incomes of the beneficiaries in line with the Fadama project development objectives.
Permanent Secretary, Ministry of Agriculture Austin Ogoro, emphasizing that greenhouse technology by Fadama is the way to go.
The project is indeed a unique one, as it comprises 10 greenhouses with boreholes and accessories for vegetable farming, and this is where the current trend is the world over.
The greenhouse technology was not peculiar to Kala community, as the same was deployed at OKORONKWO community in Ethiopia East. Pepper was being harvested, and Smart Delta team brought some on the day. Beneficiaries in this FUG, as well as the resident agronomist, talked to Smart Delta as they express their delight with this development.
5 kg now, how much?
4,000.
How much per kg?
800.
800 per kg. 1, 2, 3, 4.
It's exemplary when we come in contact with this kind of project, because it had never been experienced in this environment. So when it came, we were skeptical, but with the outcome today, it's something that will leverage the society to a greater height, mostly with the smart agenda.
I want to give a kudos to World Bank and the state governor, Ifeanyi Okowa, that introduced this project to us. Most especially, it solves a lot of problems here in our community, issue of unemployment.
The greenhouse technology has the advantage of growing different types of crops at any season. Tomato is very sensitive. It doesn't have the ability to withstand all these pests and some other fungal diseases. Then we treat the soil, we sterilize the soil before planting. That's why we don't want anything to tamper with the tomatoes.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
We are grateful,
I'll
sir.
use this one.
Encouraging us.
Having seen the agricultural advancements in Okala and Okorokwo, we headed to another community where we met beneficiaries at Ejoyowe Fish Farm at Ewere. Chairman of Ewere Fadama Community Association, Daniel Mohu, says business have been good and members of his FUG have concluded arrangements to expand their business after harvesting. Using himself as an example, he explains that if he can get this busy in his village and make money, then Fadama has already succeeded, as he had nothing doing before now. And to cap it up, it cost him nothing to benefit.
Everything you can see here is free of charge. There's borrowed, the 2 pond is built by Fadama. We did not spend the farthest. We haven't harvested, but to what I'm envisaging, it will profit us.
OKORONKWO FAVOUR, a proud beneficiary of the program, explains that like most things in life, people were skeptical of Fadama project because they didn't see bags of cash and in fact jettisoned it and walked away. But that seeing the success most beneficiaries have made of it and the financial windfall around the corner, they want to join now. They are welcome, she says, but added that they have to wait till next cycle.
Initially, when these projects came into this community, we were like, how is it going to look like? But now we are enjoying it, we are benefiting, we are seeing the fish grow up so big. At least very soon we will harvest. Then you see that people will now start coming to come and enjoy what we have been working for. At least come and join us too.
With a smile on her face, she further applauds government for remembering her and other indigent persons living in the villages.
I want to really say a very big thank you to Governor Okowa, who have made this thing possible to alleviate this poverty problem in this community, because as the project is going on, as it expands, we begin to find workers that will come. People will also be interested. We always come to see that the projects move.
The success stories of Ewere fish farmers were also resonating with their counterparts at Good Fruits and Living Harvest Fish Farm, Efroto in Ughelli South. Approaching the ponds on foot located in the woods in this rustic community with dense foliage overhead, we discovered it was a natural earthen pond swarming with hector catfish, a different species from what we were used to. An overwhelmed chairman of the FUG, Patrick Duku, says he is speechless, seeing that this is for real and that government has kept its words. He says enriching the lives of the poor in rural communities was worthy of commendation.
The Fadama program is a far-reaching program. I touched many lives. I'm very happy. And I know our groups are very happy. The program came like a joke. Nobody thought it would be real. But after that, we found that what government was telling us came to be true.
Onome Tebu and OGHENEVWAHRE, both beneficiaries and members of this FUG, are ecstatic about their new status as business owners. More so, they were giving free training among the many free inputs they got to start off.
Fadama has really done a lot. When they were coming, we were very skeptical about the whole thing. But with what we have seen so far, what they promised they did. So we're happy. We will try to move on, bring in more fishes so that we'll move from strength to strength.
This thing is very helpful to us. We need more help from the government so we can acquire what we want at the women in the rural area.
Palm oil production in a high point of Fadama activity that has engaged lots of persons in rural communities, and good money is being made from it. They produce, store and sell at the peak of demands.
I thank my governor of Delta State, for giving us a Fadama group. We are enjoying the process. Almost say the oil mill. We are a 10 group in number. We process. But the first time, they say, government don't fit do anything, government don't fit do anything. But now government is doing something. That's OKORONKWO. Our government is doing something now. The villagers now, they are very happy because there's a lot of employment. People who work, count 1 million before, they will start counting, they join the other group. That's the benefit.
The testimonies of Kingsley Bagolo, a member of Onoje Pegri FUG at Ewere, is a further attestation after the fact that Fadama program in Delta State is indeed serving its purpose of creating jobs and wealth, as well as energizing the economic base at the grassroots levels.
The project is a very laudable one. It has really created jobs for the teeming populace, especially the youth. We are benefiting and we are happy and we are grateful to the government too.
Sunday, Umoko and P.A. Collins, who are both into poultry farming and other agriculture-related business, also pay tribute to the lofty ideals of Fadama and the commitment of Governor Fanyokowa to take advantage of the program to give a second chance to both young and old in Delta to become business conscious and make a living at such difficult times.
As I'm here now, I'm so very happy that I have what I'm doing. When they break, I come to my office. They are going to my house. So later of the day, when we want to sell this, I will have something in my pocket. So I'm so very happy that OKORONKWO bring all this investment.
This is one of the best things the government has done for the rural community. The Fadama project, there are so many areas. And then the cooperatives of the group sometimes employ or 2 people whom they pay. By so doing, they are providing this job for the community.
Done with Efroto, Smart Delta switched attention to Ibodo in the Ika Northeast local government area. We were not disappointed as members of Lighthouse Cassava FUG have displayed their potentials by not only cultivating the root crop, but have brought a grinding machine from its sales to do further business to empower their members.
You can see women grinding their cassava because it's near to their farm. They are not suffering again from here to Express where they goes before.
Like how much do you people generate and what do you do with the money at the end of the day?
It's by weekly. We are getting 15,000 after the expenses. We have 14,000. We put it in our account. Ending of the year, we know what we benefit from it.
Through the Fadama program, the government also provided a motorbike with a carriage which members of the FUG used to transport their produce from the farms to the markets and homes at no cost. This Andrew Bani describes as very helpful.
We use it to convey our farm produce. Those that come to carry the keke to convey things, they were very happy to have it with me because they don't bring any money.
Because water is hard to come by at Ibodo, Fadama dug water well for Fadama Community Association FCA, from which the women get water to wash their cassava before grinding.
What we are suffering before, we are not suffering it now. Producing the well is by Fadama. They dug the well, plastered it and decked it. So through there we fetch water.
Rice is one crop Delta State has comparative advantage in cultivating on account of its suitable soil types lying within its lowland and upland plains in the state. A proof that the land is supportive of rice cultivation is the 5-4 HA of rice planted in the low beds in Mbiri between undulating hills in the community. A further 4-2 HA was cultivated at Degele Marshy Plains and yet another at Arade. It therefore was not surprising when Fadama 3 was mooted the projects latched onto rice cultivation as one major area of empowering rural Deltans. That decision has proven to be a very wise one, as evidence on ground is incontrovertible.
Delta State has what it takes to be self-sufficient in rice production because nature also is on our side.
Perhaps the icing on the cake is the Fadama Community Association FCA rice farm at Njikoka in Abono, Aniocha South. This 1/8 HA of rice farm has kept members of the Fadama user group FUG very busy as Smart Delta met them, sickle in hand, harvesting rice. KESTER Manaseh, a leading figure in the FUG, says they are very grateful to Delta State governments and the World Bank for the project as they have found dignity in labor.
This is the best government I've ever witnessed since I came to this planet Earth as far as Delta State is concerned. OKORONKWO is wonderful. The first time we are enjoying things like this rice farm in Abono now, we never expected it.
On his part, Chairman of the FUG, Godwin Chinimuya, explained that for Delta State government to remember the rural poor by bringing empowerment like this, they will work hard to justify the investment, and even more so because it costs them nothing.
I never see any governor in Delta State that carries the people's problem of its own. So OKORONKWO has made this very Fadama issue to come reality into our honor.
These twin brothers, Kennedy and Kenneth, while admitting that the work can be challenging, nevertheless are happy to be busy.
I'm happy since where this program comes into this Abono. We are not staying at home as we are staying before, drinking, walking around. But since June where we start this business, we are busy. I'm not staying at home since June, even now. We are able to come in this farm from the morning to evening. I am happy for the job.
A couple of weeks down the line, KESTER and co were very happy people as the bumper harvest from their farm was far beyond their expectations. Rightly so, they invited Fadama as well as officials from the Ministry of Agriculture to share in their joy. What KESTER said was instructive. Hear him.
We are very happy because of the yield. We know that God has used the local government, the governor himself, and the World Bank to bring change to our people. They gave us 16 to plant. Yes. We could not round it up. But today we have close to 100 kgs, not 50 kg bags. Yes. There is more in the farm. We want to feed this nation. We have said no to importation of rice. Rice is possible, it's growing here. Let our youth leave the streets and join us in this work.
The ministry promised to always be there and forge a better working relationship with Fadama while encouraging Njikoka FCA to tell the good stories to neighboring communities to cultivate rice.
Having done this, we now find an incentive.
Thank you, sir.
To want to bring the government to act more on your behalf. This is Abono that
yes,
has done
yes.
this. Yes. There are communities like Okoba,
yes,
Donte, and Umute, yes, all within the same ward. Please reach to them and tell them that rice is good to produce in our land.
Friends who witnessed the presentation and other FUG members added their voices.
So I'm impressed with what I saw. When he told me he was planting rice, I thought it was in a small scale, but I'm surprised with what I came to see today. I want him to grow more so that I can feed my poultry.
I've been a member, so we've just come to exhibit our products to the community, to the state and the world at large. So I employ others. If as a medical doctor I decide to join agriculture, everybody can do it. So let them come join us. Let us make Nigeria a great nation.
The farmers have said it all. The representatives of the Ministry of Agriculture have also said it all. And there isn't much to add. The land supports the production of rice. And here today is tangible and verifiable proof that indeed Delta State can go into full-time rice cultivation, not only to feed ourselves, but the entire nation.
Tangible and verifiable indices on ground speak after the fact that the Delta State government is moving in the right trajectory by looking for ways and means to energize the economic base of her people. Majority of the poor live in rural communities, and investing in a program that will create economic activities at the grassroots will certainly create wealth and zero tolerance for hunger. a strong goal for Fadama and building a stronger Delta.
Come to Delta State, come and see the good things where OKORONKWO they do. You better run, come to Delta State, come and see the good things where OKORONKWO they do. I see a job and work creation in Delta, make the youth say them higher. OKORONKWO, I see good roads everywhere in Delta, make the people say them cola. Come live in Delta, say me I say, come invest in Delta. Come explore the potentials of our state.